Nation.
Let's go.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Wow, it's Friday already, huh?
These 4-day weeks,
Short
man.
weeks, man. What a dub.
Yeah, it's like traveling through time. It's DNVR Buffs Prime Time. We presented by Illegal Pete's, everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. A little gloomy out here in Colorado today, in Denver.
What are we talking about today?
What are we talking about today? We're talking about our new kicker.
Okay.
One of our new kickers.
Yep.
We are talking about our top 5 buffs we want on the show, or buff duos, I should say, we want on the show the most, inspired by Wednesday's show. Travis Hunter and the EA College Football 25 gameplay reveal. But we start today another proposed rule change and how it could affect the game in Colorado. So USA Today Sports reported that the SEC could be mandating injury reports soon if recent discussions on the matter lead to a new rule. Again, they're going through those meetings and stuff right now. That's where we talked about yesterday, the revenue sharing with the jersey patches and the on-field sponsorships. The game is changing greatly, and injury reports could become a thing. Is this an advantage or disadvantage for the Buffs?
I have a strong take on this,
Let's hear it.
and I put some thought into it because I didn't necessarily know the answer at first. But the more I thought about it, the more I think that this would be an advantage for Colorado. Can you guess as to why I think it would be an advantage to Colorado?
I truly don't know, because honestly, my first reaction would be a more disadvantage.
Okay. What does Colorado's coaching staff have over every other coaching staff in the country?
NFL experience?
NFL experience. What does the NFL have that college football doesn't have? Forced injury reporting.
Okay.
These guys who have been in the league and been in the NFL for a long time are incredibly well versed in how to exploit
great point.
understanding who is going to be in and who is going to be out.
Yeah.
If Pat Shurmur finds out that the starting nickel for Baylor is not playing this week, and that guy had to come in the fourth quarter of last week and did not look good, and he sees, oh man, he really struggles with out-breaking routes, or he really struggles when he has to turn his back, whatever it is, he can exploit that. And he has years and years and years of experience in understanding how to do that, what's the best way to install that, what's the best way to attack that, while also knowing, sometimes these guys are questionable, you can't go too far. You also know that maybe the other team has a counterpunch to that, or maybe they found out they don't want that guy out there. They're going to go one behind him, and you're going to have to figure out what his strengths and weaknesses are. But this is something that Colorado's coaching staff knows probably better than anyone else. Coach Prime, Phil Lodeholt, Pat Shurmur, Robert Livingston, especially.
Yeah.
If a team's going to be missing their right tackle, okay, well, how am I going to, scheme up different games and stunts to confuse this guy because he's fresh? This is going to be his first ever start, or whatever it may be. I think obviously it's going to have the biggest advantage to the teams who stay healthy. The teams who stay healthy already have the biggest advantage of any team out there, but I think when it comes down to it, it's a slim margin. It's you're swinging just a little bit of the pendulum one way or the other. It's not like if the Big 12 starts forcing injury reporting, Colorado's going to go undefeated or something like that. But I do think that this coaching staff is more well prepared than the average coaching staff when it comes to how to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the game within the game type of thing when it comes to stuff like this, right? We saw Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Tom Brady was probable for 60-some weeks or whatever it was, just constantly trying to gain an edge wherever they can with especially the injury reporting. It'd be nice, honestly, just from my perspective. Like, I can't tell you how many times, and the chat knows, last year, like on our pregame show, we'd get a question about a guy, and it's just we don't know. Like, Neely could share what information he feels he can share, but he's not going to give away things he doesn't have to.
Well, a lot of times we do know.
Yeah.
But why would we put the information out if the coaching staff doesn't have to?
Yeah.
Like I've said a million times, we're not trying to hide who we're rooting for in the game. So why would we give the opponent any advantages?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times it's like you walk out of a Tuesday or Wednesday press conference and you see a guy walking back up the hill or something, and it's like, oh, he doesn't have pads on. Like something's going on there, obviously. So
and we also know Coach Prime has pretty strict standards of you don't practice, you don't play.
Yes, exactly. But as you mentioned when we were talking about this earlier, Coach Prime, if you know who to ask about and you ask about them, he will tell you.
True.
We learned about Miles Slusher that way. We learned a lot about specific guys in their situations, whether injuries are off the field, just from asking Coach Prime straight up. Like, he'll tell you. But a full report, not going to lie, it would be really, really nice to have.
It would be nice. And JL18972 in the comments said this is a win for the bettors.
This is exactly what it's based on.
And that's what's going to force the legislation, which I know people have a lot of feelings on, how involved sports betting has become in our sports, but it is what it is. I choose to enjoy it. But this is what's going to force the legislation is it sucks for these sports books that they can't find out whether the starting quarterback is going to go until the pregame show on the radio 30 minutes before the game. Am I really concerned about what's best for them? No, not really. But it also helps the bettor, especially the informed bettor. If you know the starting quarterback can't go, maybe the line gets shifted more than you think because you're like, I think this 5-star backup quarterback's actually better than the starter, and that starter's just getting the nod because he's the senior or whatever. All of those things kind of play into it, but that is what's going to kind of force the change. Is these sports betting properties are partnered with the leagues and especially the broadcast channels, and they want more information so they can set the most accurate line so that they can cover their ass.
Yeah, this is the crux of the whole proposed rule change and all that. A few quotes from these SEC meetings. Lane Kiffin said, "It sounds like that's where we're going in terms of getting these injury reports." And then, honestly, kind of a crazy quote from Kirby Smart. He said, "If it helps with gambling, then I'm all for it. If it's geared to getting knowledge out there that people are trying to get from our student athletes and it protects them, I'm certainly for that."
Interesting. I think there was a layer there to uncover. Say that last sentence again.
If it's geared to getting knowledge out there that people are trying to get from our student athletes and it protects them, I'm certainly for that.
So that's what I think this is really about for him. Sounds like sports bettors are hitting up Carson Beck to find out, hey, is your starting running back going this weekend? Or is that left tackle going to play? And that puts them in a weird, precarious position. Even if it's like, it could be anyone sending them a DM on Instagram, or it could be one of their friends, who's passing that in, selling that information to someone else, and like, it gets sketchy.
It does.
The closer you get to that type of stuff. So I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's an interesting kind of angle. It would be an interesting one for us to probably off the record talk to some of the players that we know about if they've dealt with that. But that's a thoughtful answer, I think.
Well, think about it like Travis's perspective. I mean, he had an internal injury, and we just got to let it heal. 3 to 4-ish weeks. Like, how many people were hitting him up going, hey, you good to go this week? You good to go this week? Just trying to get that information, not even associated with, the actual coaches or betting or whatever. Like, I'm sure it's just trying to keep an injury under wraps like that in college is probably a bit of a headache more than it's even worth, because it's like you can just declare a guy out like on Tuesday or whatever, you know what I mean? If he's just not ready, if they're in that situation, as opposed to having to deal with questions and press conferences and all that stuff.
Here's the interesting part, and it's something that I dealt with early on in my career, especially when I was trying to be more of a journalist. These players don't want their specific injuries to be made public because they're afraid it hurts their draft stock.
Right.
And I understand the root of that, The truth is, one way or another, it's going to come out.
Yeah, that's all what the combine's about.
Yes. Well, especially the big ones. So I won't name names, but early on, I reported an injury, a serious injury, about a basketball player that I learned through the grapevine. He had torn his Achilles, and I wrote a story about it. He's clearly going to be out for the season. It was like just a few weeks before the season started, and he blew up my DMs, essentially like cursing me out.
Really?
Just saying like, this isn't your information to share, blah, blah. And like, it was a lesson for me.
Yeah.
Not a lot to be gained from having that news first. I felt bad that I kind of hurt that relationship with the player because I was in that mode of like, oh, I get to break the news.
Right.
Now, obviously, I don't give a shit about that. But it's a touchy thing for them. Of course, 3 weeks later, the season starts. He's not out there. He's in a boot on a scooter.
Yeah.
And everyone asks the coach after the game, and he says what happened.
Right.
It's like, I don't know why he got so mad about me, but lesson learned. Injuries, touchy subject, especially for these guys who are worried about how that information gets presented, how it comes out. Maybe there's a way that they want to package the information, and he tore his ACL, but it was a minor tear, whatever. It's a sensitive subject. And even, let's just say a guy misses 4 games in a season at 4 different times, but every time it's an ankle injury. Well, now NFL teams are saying, okay, has this guy got an ankle issue?
Right.
Is this something that we're going to have to put in our notes? And of course, I'm sure they would. So it'd be interesting if they did do it. Would they have some protection in there for the athletes to be able to say lower body injury, upper body injury, like hockey does?
Just like a designation, like out or like questionable.
Right.
Like,
that doesn't even have to delineate what it is. Yeah.
So there's some more interesting quotes from this too. Florida's AD Scott Strickland said, "We have a tradition in college athletics of trying to be competitive in every single thing we do. That's an area that I don't know if it really matters, the competitive piece. We need to be up front." So he sounds like he's in great support of it. Texas A&M's new football coach, Mike Elko, said, "Like everything, I'm sure people will try to find a way to escape the system." And then Texas coach Steve Sarkisian said on that, "Fine us. That's what they do in the NFL. If I try to game the system and I don't report a guy, fine us. We all make the money that we make. That's a really simple way to get us to adhere to the rules." Sounds like everyone's in support of this.
Yeah, they all want the extra information.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be really frustrating to get out there and have spent a bunch of time game planning for someone who's not even out there.
Right. For sure.
And they must feel that having the information about what the other team has going on. Yes, I'm all right. Thank you for asking. I swear I have water go down the wrong pipe more, like 10 times more than the average person. Anyways, I think that they must feel like having the extra information about the other teams in ins and outs is more beneficial than hiding what they have or don't have.
I agree. It's a change that, honestly, it's kind of overdue. And I'd be really excited if we got this, just to offer some more clarity. And I don't know, it would just take up less time in press conferences and like less time on our show of wondering and asking about injuries. Like we could just have a clear, concise report really to go back to. So,
yep.
Shout out to our new friends over at Vestibule. Hopefully some of you know by now, but if you don't know Vestibule, what is it? It's a new app called, or it is Vestibule. It's a first of its kind investment app where fans can invest in an athlete's career and get paid a portion of the athlete's income throughout it for doing so. It's real athlete stocks. The first athlete they're launching with is Denver Broncos edge rusher Baron Browning. An interesting career from him so far. Some injuries, position changes, but he's coming up on a contract year, so you could also cash in when Baron breaks the bank. Baron's IPO is live now. Shares are available for purchase, but they are limited. So go download the Vestibule app now and invest. I'm sure we're going to have multiple buffs from this team who are going to earn some big money contract extensions in the NFL. Crazy, but like 4 or 5 years from now. But it will not be shocking to see some of these guys make serious money.
Absolutely. Also, shout out to Toyota. Jake, I think it's time for me to get another Toyota.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, back-to-back day. So, Allie and I just share one car. We live, I don't know,
not too far,
15 blocks away from here. So it's easy, obviously we both work in the same place.
Right.
But like back-to-back days, issues with who's using the car, not like issues, but just like we're trying to figure it out. Like, oh, who's going to get the car? Yeah. I have like a meeting all the way across town right after this. And I'm just like, I think we just need one of those brand new 4Runners.
There you go.
So I would love that. As I've told you guys before, I'm Toyota for life, and Toyota has not only the best products, but from my experience, the best customer service. They really make you feel like you're welcome and wanted when you go into one of those dealerships. So visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota and Boulder Grove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR.
Well done. All right. We got gameplay from EA Sports College Football 25. Did you watch it?
Oh, yeah.
Initial thoughts?
You want my true, honest initial thought?
Yeah.
My true, honest initial thought is I'm going to have to probably step away from Madden to get good at college football.
Yeah. Do you guys like take a month break from the league or something just to dive into this game? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. I had a absolutely massive win last night against the only person who beat me in the regular season. So I avenged my one loss of my 16-1 regular season.
Let's go.
Travis Hunter, go-ahead touchdown with 90 seconds left. Didn't end up being the game winner. Went to overtime.
Damn.
And won on a failed 2-point conversion.
Wow.
It was crazy. Guy caught it in the back of the end zone, got 1 foot down instead of 2.
That's honestly, that's one of the best ways to win a football game. A defensive stand, like on the goal line where there's a 2-pointer, like time expires on like the last play from regulation.
Yep. So I had that. Going to try and chase Super Bowl ring number 9, I think.
Oh my God.
And then I'm legitimately thinking like I gotta turn my attention to this college football game because it's very different.
Yes, it
Everyone
is.
says Madden skin, Madden skin, Madden skin. It is not a Madden skin, and there's a lot I think of ins and outs and little things that you're gonna have to learn to get good at this game. And I really want to be the best at it, so I might have to step away from the Madden League.
Yeah, let's talk about it. There's a lot of new features, I guess. I don't know, just ways the game works. The wear and tear system, the way it's broken down, every body part has a rating basically, and it's affected by fatigue and the specific
every
hits.
Body part.
Every body part, yes.
Every body part.
You know what I'm talking about. So if your quarterback takes a hit while throwing, that's going to affect their right arm. So it could affect throwing stats and stuff like that. It's very detailed in that direction.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's a big debate in the Madden League about whether or not you should be forced to have depth on your teams. And it's really that's more about injuries, like how high should the injury slider be turned.
Yes.
I personally like it to be turned more low. I'm trying to have fun, not necessarily trying to play the most realistic game. This is a whole other thing though. And I don't think you'll have a choice but to have depth in this college football game, or to at least use your depth. Because if in Madden, you could just run stretch right 14 times in a row.
Yes.
And maybe you got to sub your running back out for one of those plays. Right now, it seems like if you run that, and not only do you run it twice in a row, but the second time you get hit sticked, you're going to have to bring in your backup running back. But that's how college football is, right? I think there's a lot to it. One of them is these guys aren't quite as durable or as finely trained as NFL players whose literal only job is to keep their body in shape and know what they're doing on the field. But it just feels like college football has a lot more rotations. And so I think that's a cool thing to try and add. I think it'll be interesting to see how you do it. It'll require you to be a little more thoughtful, I think, in your play calling, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
But I like that.
the AI is like really tuned in, I think, on this game, because they've mentioned that. I've seen multiple people who have played the game already mention that you cannot just spam the same 3 plays over and over.
It's lovely.
So yes, massive, because that's, in my opinion, that's one of the biggest issues with Madden, is that there's just plays that are broken that people just spam constantly.
For sure. And honestly, like, the matchup I played last night, it's like, I love playing people that are so good that I know if I call the same play 2 times out of 10, they're going to see it coming the second time.
Yeah.
And they recognize the formation. And like, I just think that makes the game more of a chess match.
Yep. A few other things. Road to Glory, not starting in high school. To be honest, I don't really care.
Don't care at all.
Because I'm all about Dynasty mode. We've talked about the playbooks before. They really, kind of like they did with NCAA 14 and the ones before, they were very diverse playbooks that matched up identity-wise and scheme-wise with the team's actual identity and scheme. That is back. What else we got? Well, let's just pull up the picture, Alyssa, of Travis. So there's no superstars in this game, but there are like player abilities, basically.
I think that's the same thing, personally.
It really kind of is, but I think that it's... And I've seen some of the stuff, like when it comes to Road to Glory, you can start as like a 2-star all the way up to 5-star, and it's like different... Like 2-star, you're only like I think 60 or 65 overall, and
you have none of these. I am.
Yeah, and then as a 5-star, I'm sure you start with some of these, and you start near an 80 basically.
Right.
In your Road to Glory, but this is what Travis is going to have here.
First of all, that looks like Travis Hunter.
Yes, it does. Yep.
Good job.
Half sleeves and everything, man. That's exactly how he's dressed. Let's go through some of these. And there's also mental and physical, I don't know what we're calling these. Abilities, yeah. We can see the mental ones right there. Fan favorite, increased composure, gains at home. And that's another thing about this game. Composure and like poise is a big thing.
That's college football as well.
Yes.
And I love, I think it was Matt Brown who said, like, this is a love letter to college football fans by college football fans. It's like everything we love about college football is supposed to be highlighted in this. It's about the traditions. It's about home field advantage and how it plays into it. And so, like, yeah, you're at home. You're a fan favorite, like the fans chanting your name or whatever. That's going to get you going a little more. I love this next one. I think this is so funny that this happened.
Best friend?
Best friend. What does it say? QB composure gets a boost for a completion or something
on
like
first
that?
down catch.
On a first down catch?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh, like to get a first down.
Yeah.
Do you know why I think it's funny that it's called Best Friend and Travis Hunter has it?
Because Travis and Shador are best friends?
Yes. And there was the whole thing this week about the alleged beef. Yeah. Just perfect timing, no pun intended. And then, you go through some of these. Like, I think it's cool that I think there's what did it say? Up to 80 different abilities? Yeah,
it's crazy. So the last one there for mental says clear-headed, protection from composure loss. Let me find this tweet because someone posted it and they had it all laid out with a bunch of them. But there is so many. Like Travis, what did he have there for physical? Like 7 of them, and I think he's maxed out in terms of those on-field abilities.
But there's also, I think, bronze, silver, gold for each one of these, and so you can. Yeah, it looks like he's a bronze fan favorite, but a gold double dip, whatever that means. And so you can, I guess, develop your abilities and increase them within. I also think it's interesting that something I hadn't thought about, like, we're in season, I think, 6 of this Madden. So everyone's players are super OP because they've just been developing them from the very beginning.
Right.
You're not going to be able to do that in this because guys are going to graduate.
Yep.
It's interesting.
That's why I always like these games more, man. It was every year about team building, like getting guys, transfers, like how is this, second year wide receiver ready to actually make the jump and start. Alyssa, I sent you another tweet if you want to pull that up. This has all the abilities, just the picture really is all we need. And there's a lot, man. And I'm sure there's some of these that you recognize or you can guess that are in Madden. Like the 50-50 catch thing, like it tilts the scales in their favor. Jump balls, field general, trucking stuff, juking stuff. Also, the kicking is like changed in this, completely different. It's not the pull the stick forward and then up or back and then up. It's not the tap the X in the zone type of thing. Like it's very different. College kickers are in the game.
I'm interested to see how that works. I never miss a field goal in Madden.
So there you go. There's some of the abilities there. So it's going to be pretty in-depth, man.
I love the tweet from Folsom. I think this was also a tweet from Folsom Friendly. But I love the tweet. They said, who else on the Buff should have the fan favorite moniker?
Charlie. Micah.
Good ones. Shador, obviously.
Yeah, Shiloh.
I don't know if he's going to get it, but I think eventually he will have the tag, Nakai Hillgreen.
Yeah. Great one.
Oh, Block Bully.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, our fan base is so unlike any other ones. Almost everyone is a fan favorite.
I know. It's awesome.
Like, I bet you... How many people are in the chat right now, Alyssa? We got let's just say we have 1,000 people in the chat right now. I bet you 800 plus could name over 30 players on the team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I bet 500 plus could name almost everyone.
But with the questions we get from about certain players, I'm sure they know more than that. 50 to 60, if not more.
Yeah. But I just mean write down as many as you can off the top of your head. They've heard of everyone, for sure. Even the walk-ons.
Yep.
Which I think is completely unique to this fan base, at least, maybe compared to Georgia and Alabama.
Right.
Someone said Cam, another great one. Someone said Bucky.
Of course. Last thing really is home field advantage plays a major factor in this game, as it did in the last iteration in 14. It's going to have the squiggly lines and stuff. It's going to hide, the buttons for your receivers and all that. But it's composure and poise. Like, if you have a low-rated freshman who has to come into the game on the road, good luck. They're not going to have, they'll be rattled. They'll be more inaccurate. Also, the throwing's changed. We didn't even talk about that. Did you see that? It's like a...
Yeah, I think that's pretty similar to the current Madden setup.
From what I read from people who played it, they said it was very different.
Okay.
So we'll see. But yeah, man, this sounds like they checked all the boxes here, and I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, honestly, it made me a little nervous, but I think that's a good thing. Just nervous that I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a whole new challenge.
Yeah, a lot of balancing, I'm sure, with the wear and tear system and with the home field advantage and all that, but I can't wait.
O-line better step up and protect Shador for me.
I'm sure you can motivate them to do so.
I love the all the different playbooks. I couldn't believe that you can run the Wake Forest slow mesh.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they went all the way in, which is really, really
They've got Oklahoma's wide ass splits, literally lined up on the sideline, basically.
That's special. That's means people put real care into this game. Watched actual film of teams to give each team its own identity and feel. It probably would suck though if you change, I don't know, your team changes schemes or something and you're stuck running the old one.
I know.
But obviously they'll update it every year, hopefully. Did you notice something about the home field advantage when they were talking about it?
There was a meter thing. I don't know where you're going here though.
While they were talking about how home field advantage plays a part was the one time that they showed a clip of Colorado, which gives me a good feeling that we're going to get a good home field advantage rating.
We should.
Yes.
We absolutely should. They just played better at home last year. It was just simple fact.
And it was sold out every game.
Yep.
I feel like if you sell out every game, you have a really good chance of being in that top 25 rating.
So we're about today's the 31st. We're about a month and a half away from this. Still have a decent amount of time, but I am beyond pumped, man. All right, shout out to our friends over at Bet365. The Mavericks clinched it up last night. Celtics, Mavs in the NBA Finals. Who you got?
Mavs.
Okay. I think I'm taking the Celtics. I think the Celtics are going to be favored on that line too. But Bet365 is my favorite book. I love Bet365. You can do their bet and get offer. Sign up with the code DNVR365. Deposit $10. Place a bet of $5 or more, and you will get $150 back in bonus bets instantly. Once that bet cashes, it can hit or miss, actually. You just have to place a bet. Great way to start your bankroll. You must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Also, shout out to Circle K. Circle K,
we need your help.
We need you to come take over the vacant building across the street from us where there used to be a completely overpriced convenience store. And it was so overpriced that people stopped going there, and that's why it's closed now.
Yeah.
But Circle K, the opposite of overpriced. Great deals all the time, especially on sodas and things of that nature. But we're begging Circle K to come take over that building and give us a convenience store right around here because Circle K is the best. You can also get discounts on gas. Who doesn't want or need that? If you sign up for the Inner Circle Rewards program by scanning that QR code on the screen or going to www.circlek.com/innercircle. And as you see right there, sign up today and get your first 5 beverages for free.
Mm-hmm.
5?
Oh, yeah. They don't mess around with the Polar Pops, bro.
Like I said, the opposite of overpriced. Hit up our friends over at Circle K and become an Inner Circle member.
Get like 25 cents off a gallon, too, when you first sign up.
I think it's crazy how many we can stop on college football after this. So many people talking about playing with teams other than Colorado. I literally am not capable.
I mean, I have one other team I'm going to play with.
If we play Dynasty, obviously, and I get stuck taking some other team, that would suck. But
right.
I'll pull it off. But like, I wouldn't purposefully play with any other team.
Yeah. Some overalls have been revealed because they kind of went through the play now thing.
Do you think those were official?
I'd say as of right now, yes.
Baylor's a 92.
Oh, is that for real? No,
Yeah.
These aren't real then.
That was someone paused it and wrote them all out in a tweet, and Baylor was a 92.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. There's no way.
That was like, yeah, I think Michigan was a 94.
Yeah, that made Baylor one of the like top 10 best teams in the game.
There's no way, right?
Yeah, no chance.
Okay.
Okay, we do have a Bet365 top 5. Do you want to do the kicker thing first?
Sure.
Can you pull up the video of Andrew when you get a chance, Alyssa? So
Andrew what, Jake?
Andrew Stoyanovich.
There you go. I think
Stoyanovich, whatever.
You almost had it.
So we've talked about special teams a bit this offseason, and I think we all assume Mata's holding down the field or the place kicker role.
Mm-hmm.
But they, just like all over the field, they've brought in competition, man. And on Monday or Tuesday, when what the heck? When the well-off video went up, and all the new players are introducing themselves, Andrew walks up there with his chest out, broad-ass shoulders, like biceps just going crazy. This guy is ripped.
Yeah, he is.
And he's got a boot. Look at this. From the logo and the IPF right down the middle, man.
So that's 60 in between the little goalposts with yardage to spare.
Yes.
I saw he also posted on his Twitter a couple months ago, had the wind at his back, hit from 67.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Obviously, last year, Feely was the kickoff specialist and the kind of long distance kick specialist. He had the long distance kick specialist thing kind of stripped from him after he missed a couple.
Yeah.
I think Coach Prime just said, like, either go for it or send Mata out there. So I think that position is up for competition if you can earn the trust. I think it should be noted that it's hard to make from 50 plus. Even great NFL kickers or good NFL kickers miss from 50 plus quite a bit. But if he can kick it out of the back of the end zone consistently and, hit from 50 plus more often than not, he could contribute to this team as a true freshman.
No doubt, man.
Bless you.
Yeah, bless you, Alyssa. Mata's clutch as hell, man. And, he showed that his range is improving, getting better. This is going to be one of the competitions at camp, I think, honestly. If this kid's able to kick like that, if Stoyanovich can kick like that, oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to come down to consistency and trust. We already know that Mata has the trust.
Yep.
But love it. Love iron sharpens iron.
Chad says, I think his dad is Pete and used to play for the Dolphins.
I believe it. There's a lot of kicking legacies.
There really is. And we've got one of them in Boulder already, too. Might have multiple here. I think you might be right, man.
I would be shocked if there was a professional kicker with the last name Stoyanovich who was not related to the college kicker with the last
Different
name
guy, yeah. Played with the Dolphins from 89 to 95, Chiefs from 96 to 2000, and had a short stint with the Rams in 2000 also. 79.5% field goal kicker in the NFL.
Nice.
98% extra points.
Ooh. Back when they were easy.
Yeah, when they were layups. I don't see Andrew's name mentioned, though. We'll find it. All right. Our Bet365 top 5. Duos we want to have on the show the most. I think there's a clear number 1 here. I think there's...
Everyone's favorite graphic. Let's go.
I know. There's a few sets of brothers, obviously, that everyone's mentioned. There's some OBs everyone's mentioned. But, I mean, like we saw on Tuesday or Wednesday, sometimes there's just combos of players who are tight that you haven't even expected, really.
Yes, and that's one of my, sleepers that I want to include here.
Okay.
But should we just get the obvious out of the way, number 1?
Yeah, number 1, Shiloh and Shador.
Yep. And what about... Okay, yes. Shiloh and Shador.
It's easy, man. Come on.
Well, what about Travis and Shador?
Yes, but you talk about what we did on Wednesday where it's throw a topic in there and just get out of the way. With Shiloh and Shador? Come on.
You know what the actual duo involving Travis is, which would be a cheat code here, is Travis and Coach Prime.
Yes. Yes.
But that I think we have to stick to players. Also
sure.
Things that might be possible.
For sure. So we working down from here then? Who's the next combo you would want the most?
Ooh. I've got one.
Okay.
Well, how far do I want to stray away from brothers? How about LeJohntay and Jimmy?
Yes.
And then I'll throw out another one. We can decide where to place them. Justin Mayers and Khalil Benson.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We got to talk with the two of them at the same time at the Primetime Elite Dinner.
Yep.
And they were a riot together. So those two got to be on there. LeJohntay and Jimmy, I feel like, would be so electric, so much energy.
Yes.
Where do you want to put them?
Should I throw out some too, and then we can go through? I'd love to get some of the OBs, like the governor, Camden Dempsey, and Ben Finiseth maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Or Ben Finiseth and Trevor Woods.
Ben and Trevor would be great. Cam Dempsey and Charlie Offerdahl could work.
That'd be fantastic. Yep. Yes. It wouldn't happen this year, obviously, but Jimmy and Zay would have been incredible.
Yep.
I'll throw out Cam and JB.
Yep. Great one in the comments. Draylon Miller, Cam, Michael.
Yep. Ben and Charlie in there. DJ and Preston.
Oh, yeah.
Two guys who are new coming in, and they've assumed a lot of responsibility. They've proven themselves already to a degree, and Coach Prime is very high on the both of them.
Yep. All right. Let's start placing some people here.
Okay.
Who would be a good combo with Caleb? Shador?
Yes.
Someone from his class.
I'm looking through here. So last year it'd be a freshman, right?
Yeah. Omarion Miller, maybe?
Yeah. Who else? Oh, the Pitt guys. Okunlola and Dayon Hayes.
Oh, yeah. Also, just the Wester brothers.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, number 2. I kind of feel like we have to go with KB and Justin.
Okay, I love that one. After experiencing it live, I loved it.
Number 3, Whackdale says Caleb and Carter. That's same class, yep. Trucking with Cecil says Jalen and Seaton. Jalen. Wester?
I doubt it.
Number 3, though. Who do you think we go with here?
I don't know. I just get such great vibes and energy whenever they show Jimmy and LeJohntay in well-off videos.
I love it.
Also, I just feel like anything that we can do to squash the
Yes.
perceived beef there. And even though I think people have started to realize that those guys are friends, just there's this idea of only one of them can succeed.
Right.
And I think I would love to just do anything and everything I can to kill that narrative because I think it's so unbelievably wrong. And it is a fun off-season topic, right? Every time I'm on anything, people ask me, who's going to be the odd man out in the wide receiver room? And I'm just like, I realize it's a fun thing to discuss. There isn't. The odd man out is the guy who can't get open or doesn't get trust from Shedeur.
Yes.
And I don't think that's true of Jimmy or LeJounte or Omarion Miller or Will Shepherd or Travis Hunter, or we can go on and on and on and on and on.
Yep.
So I don't really think there is an odd man out, but yeah, I'd love to kill that.
Sorry, who?
LeJounte and Jimmy. 2 Florida boys, too.
Yep.
Next one. OBs?
Yeah, but what's the perfect combination of OBs? So like, I think Ben and Trevor is a really good one.
Yeah.
Because you have like a more outgoing one and a more quiet one, and I think Ben would bring the best out of Trevor.
Yes.
You could say that too about anyone combined with Charlie.
Right.
I think Charlie's a little bit on the quiet side too.
Yeah.
Cash Cleveland and Jordan Seaton would be good.
That's a great one, man.
So yeah, I think if you're gonna do like, you could do Charlie and Ben. Charlie's obviously a bigger fan favorite, but I don't think they're like as close and have that same relationship.
I think it'd be Charlie and Camden. That'd be the combo.
I think I'd rather have Ben and Trevor.
I agree.
Camden and Mate from the comments.
That's a great one.
That's such a good one.
Peter's on it with his combos, man. The Hood brothers, of course.
Cam and JB.
Yeah.
There's too many good ones. We need to make a Bet 365 top 50.
Or like Nakai and like Chidoze, like 2 veterans coming in here to prove it for 1 year or something like that.
Yep.
Do we go with the OBs or do we go with something else?
I don't know. You tell me. I really like JB and Cam, and I also really like Cash Cleveland and Jordan Seaton. That might be my number 5.
Cash and C or?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do JB and Cam at 4. Cash and C. Is there anything that beats that? Because, man.
I hate that we don't have more brothers on here.
Well, we have one at 1. We have the combo at 1.
I know.
Who else would you pick in terms of brothers?
I mean,
the Hood brothers, I think, would be awesome.
Yep, for sure. I always think that Sammy Sachs has a brother on the team, but that's just later.
Yeah, that is.
In the comments, can anyone beat Cash and Seat as a team? Oh, Cam and Draylon.
2 sets of freshmen. Jordan and Cash is tough to top, I think, really.
Yeah. The interesting one is like, if you found the right combo with Travis,
I know.
You would probably make magic. Travis and Caleb.
That'd be fun. Yes.
Because we know that Travis might have the most fun personality on the team. He doesn't necessarily love giving that to media.
Right.
And, I don't necessarily blame him for it. When we talked about, I'm like, have you ever seen him do a podcast? A bunch of people commented like he had his own podcast. I'm like, well, that kind of proves my point, right? Even you don't see him on other people's stuff.
Yes.
Doing that type of thing. But I wonder if you were to get Caleb, who knows how to push everyone's buttons, if he could get Travis going.
Yeah.
I think I might want to move that to number 2.
All right. I mean, if we're being real here, Shedeur and Travis would be up there, but since we already have Shedeur and Shiloh, I feel like we can't put them together.
Yeah, no, I think Shedeur and Travis would be good too. But also, Shador's super low key as well. And so, like, you know, they can, like, I think Shiloh also would bring it out of Shador the same way that I think Caleb could bring it out of Travis.
Yes. I mean, we saw last year at Media
Travis
Day
and Shiloh.
how Shador talked about Travis.
Yeah.
You know?
I was that on camp? I think it was in RG's wrap up when we were, I think you maybe could hear it on the live. When Shador went off and Travis was coming on, or did Travis go first? Whenever Travis was coming on, Shador was like, "Hey, he's a little cranky right now.
Yeah.
Give him a break."
What are we going with the last one? Cash and Jordan?
No,
What is it?
I'm standing on business for Travis and Caleb.
All right, Travis and Caleb.
At 5
Yeah.
instead of Cash and Seaton.
Yes.
Oh, Cash and C getting snubbed here.
Oh my gosh, sorry, one more time.
We did ours.
Travis and Caleb. Caleb with a K.
We also did already get a Cash Cleveland combo,
Yes.
but we had the technical difficulties.
I know.
Everything's so much better in studio.
Yeah, if we had the boys in studio, I'm sure that would have been 10 times better. It was great, but yeah.
I think Shiloh and Caleb would be good. Someone also said Shiloh and Travis. All of them would be good. We tried not to repeat anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So since we took Shiloh and Shador together.
Darius and Bucky, of course, talking non-players. I mean, I'd love Coach Flea and Micah together. I think that would be amazing.
That's an interesting one. Coach Hart and Nakai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with how he talked about him.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, as it turns out, we have a lot of potential duos that we could try to get on this show. And I think, honestly, the duos might just be the move.
Let's go. Stay tuned, chat. That's all I got. Do you have anything else?
Let's talk to the people.
Let's talk to the people. To the Twitter chat we go.
Coach Prime and Coach Sapp.
Oh, my God.
Neely and Coach Sapp.
Yeah. Absolutely. Coach Sapp, even by himself, I mean, we experienced it. You can just tee that guy up, man.
Oh, yeah. He'll
run.
He was cooking that day.
King Carlito asks, who will be the next set of guests? I don't know.
We've got some irons in the fire.
Okay. Stay tuned. Shelly asks, how many sets of relatives are on the team besides brothers? I think there are some cousins on the team. Yeah, we have the Hood. Trent Hood is cousins with Brandon and Colton. Who else would be cousins?
We got Mathis brothers. We got Wonko brothers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Sanders brothers.
The Wades.
The Wades. Wester brothers.
Yep.
I don't know about other like relative.
So was that 5?
I think we're at 6.
6?
By the way, you just scrolled by his name. We haven't talked about him yet. Quincy Wiggins. Physically?
Yeah, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. I know. I'm looking. I hope he blows up in camp. We didn't hear his name too much during the spring. I can't even really remember from the spring game, but just looking at him and his pedigree in terms of recruiting and all that, like, I can't help but think this guy's going to be a factor.
He looks like when like one of those NFL players shows up to practice and is like hanging out.
Yeah.
Like just his build.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of build, Jordan Seaton got a lot bigger.
He did.
He has like the NFL offensive lineman look now.
Yeah. It's exciting times, man. I saw someone made like, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Matt H or it might have been someone else on Twitter, but someone made like a comparison.
Travis and JB is a good one too.
That is a great one. Yeah, fishing buddies for sure. Someone made a graphic like comparing the size of this year's offensive line to last year's, and we're like 30 pounds heavier on average.
Wow. Someone mentioned Dallin Hayden. He's got like a very interesting build to him.
Ooh, Dallin Hayden and Nakai, Ohio State, Michigan. Bring that on the show. Let's go.
Nah, we care about Colorado.
No, you talk about setting 2 people off, though. Just throw that one out there.
That's true.
Travis J is related to the Sanders too, a cousin. Big LT says.
Didn't know that.
JL was the question. Is there going to be a ticket and tailgate for the Nebraska game? Yes.
Yeah, you can sign up on the website.
Yeah, deposits are live now.
Yep, the Chidoze brothers.
I think it was
Or the Wonko brothers.
yeah. I think Chijoke, when they went up for the player intros, I think he's the one that said, I'm going to take someone's job.
Did he say his name?
Yeah,
Did he say Chijoke?
pretty sure.
Because I was told it's Chijioke.
Let me confirm in the chat, please.
We'll have to revisit.
Let me know.
We're still working on trying to rewire our brains for Cam Michael.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
It's like Justin Michael, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, we did talk about Stoyanovich earlier in the show.
Stoyanovich.
JL with another question. Do you think Tyler Johnson and Brown will rotate? I think rotating guards is the most likely if they're going to rotate on the offensive line. I feel like that position is the easiest, and it's where you most often see it, especially in the NFL.
I don't think any position coach wants to rotate anyone other than obviously, defensive line and wide receivers. But no offensive line coach would like to rotate.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to just have their 5 and wind it up and let it go.
Yeah.
So I'll say no. I don't think they rotate.
I don't think we even saw too much rotation. And I don't know what was going on with Tyler. I think he was hurt. But I don't think we saw any real rotation like that in the spring game. It was like first team, second team type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Is Isaiah Augustave in Boulder? I don't think so. I don't know for sure, though. But I'm sure we will find out exactly when it happens.
Doyle said, did you guys see them doing the SEAL training in the pool today? They are putting them through it.
Yeah, that video just went up a few minutes ago on Well Off. There's some live, I think Coach Prime went live on IG or something. From what I heard, Travis is just, come on,
Yeah.
It's Travis, but Travis is like a frog out there. He's just gliding around in the water.
That's awesome. Have you ever done a workout in a pool?
No.
It's pretty weird because you can't feel yourself sweat. Mm-hmm. So you don't know. Usually when you're working really hard, you can feel it.
Right,
You're
yeah.
Dang. And you just don't feel it as much. It's weird.
No, I've never done a full pool workout.
It's a good workout. It's a different type of soreness. I'll tell you that. Those boys are going to be hurting tomorrow.
iWoke says Jake has it right, I'm assuming, for Chijoke.
Okay, there you go. I asked.
Is it August?
No.
No. It's August, Dave. It has to be. We can't do another one of these.
Don't do this to Jake. It's not fair.
Can't do another one of these, man.
Augustave is very classy, though.
You never really know until you hear them say their names the first time. Or
It sounds like where someone would tell you they're going on their honeymoon.
Yeah. What else have we got? That's it. Fun week, man. Super fun week on the show.
Great one.
Stay tuned for what's next.
All right, let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.